I used AI to manage my Tinder profile for 30 days, and the results were unexpected. More matches, better conversations, and more real dates than I thought possible, but also a few things no one talks about. Welcome to TechWise, where we test AI in real life and see what actually works. Online dating looks simple. Swipe, match, chat, but in reality, it's a system. Your photos matter. Your bio matters. Your messages matter. Most people are guessing. So I wanted to test something different. What happens if you optimize everything with AI, not just replies, the entire profile? Let's start from the beginning, because the biggest mistake most people make happens before the first match: photos. I took 12 pictures I already had, different lighting, outfits, angles. Instead of guessing which ones were best, I used AI with vision capabilities. I asked, rank these photos based on attractiveness, approachability, and likelihood to perform well on a dating app. The result wasn't just a ranking. It explained why. Which photos felt natural? Which ones looked staged? Which ones signaled confidence? And which didn't? I rebuilt my profile based on that. And here's what changed. Before, around 10 to 15 matches per week. After optimization, 30 to 35 matches per week. Same person, different positioning. But this is only half the story. Because getting matches is easy. Turning them into conversations, that's where most people fail. Now, let's move to the second layer, the bio. Most bios are either too generic or trying too hard. So I tested multiple versions using AI. I gave this prompt: create a Tinder bio that is confident, slightly playful, and sparks curiosity without sounding try-hard. Then I refined it, added constraints, adjusted tone, tested variations. What I ended up with was simple, but effective. And more importantly, it created hooks, open loops that made people want to start a conversation. Result? More incoming messages, which is rare. But now comes the most interesting part, because this is where the experiment really starts. Replying to messages. For 30 days, I didn't reply manually. Instead, I used tools like Claude and Perplexity to generate replies. I would paste the conversation and ask, write a reply that is natural, engaging, slightly witty, and moves the conversation forward. And at the beginning, it worked almost perfectly. Replies were better than what most people write. More structured, more engaging, more consistent. Conversations lasted longer. Response rate increased significantly. Before AI, around 40–50% reply rate. With AI, closer to 80%. But here's where things get interesting. After a few days, I noticed something subtle. The conversations felt too perfect, too smooth. And this created a new problem. Because while AI is great at generating replies, it doesn't have real intent. So I adjusted the strategy. Instead of fully automated replies, I started editing them, adding imperfections, shortening sentences, making them feel more human. And this changed everything. Because now I had the best of both worlds. Strong structure, but authentic delivery. And this is the key insight. AI shouldn't replace your personality. It should enhance it. But now let's talk about results. Because this is what actually matters. Over 30 days, more than 100 matches, around 75 active conversations that led to real dates. 9. And here's the surprising part. The biggest improvement wasn't in matches. It was in conversion. Before AI, I might get 2 or 3 dates in a month. With AI support, 9, 3 times more. But this is only part of the experiment, because AI can do more than just reply. Now, let's take this one step further. One underrated use case is conversation strategy. Instead of reacting to messages, you can plan the flow. I started asking AI, how do I move this conversation toward a date naturally? It suggested timing, phrasing, and transitions. For example, when to suggest meeting, how to avoid sounding pushy, how to create momentum. And this made conversations more intentional. Not forced, but guided. Another powerful use case? Profile positioning. I asked, what type of personality does my profile communicate? The answer was eye-opening. Because sometimes, what you think you're showing is not what others see. And adjusting small details changed perception. But now we need to talk about the downside. Because there is one. And it's important. Using AI in dating raises a real question. Where do you draw the line? Because if AI writes your messages, is that still you? Here's my take. If AI is generating everything, you're outsourcing connection. But if AI is helping you communicate better, you're just upgrading your skills. And there's a big difference. Because at the end of the day, the goal isn't better messages. It's real interaction. And this is where the final insight comes in. AI is incredibly powerful for first impressions, conversation quality, consistency. But the outcome still depends on you. Because AI can get you to the date. But it can't replace who you are once you're there. So if you look at the full experiment, better photos, better bio, better conversations, better conversion. Not because AI changed the outcome, but because it removed friction at every step. And that's the real pattern. AI doesn't create opportunities. It amplifies them. This isn't just about dating. It's about communication. And once you understand that, you can apply it everywhere. This isn't the future of AI. It's already shaping how we interact today. Subscribe if you want to see how AI can improve real parts of your life, not just theory.